This is Iberian Property Insights, an initiative aimed for those who want to be updated on the Iberian real estate sector. My name is Alexander Lima. Welcome back to one more episode of our podcast. Today I have the pleasure of hosting Edmund Eggins, Managing Director at Ardian Real Estate. Ardian, I think it's a very well-known leading private investment house with headquarters in Paris. But Edmund, please do give us a brief introduction of what is the scope of Ardian.
Sure. And thank you very much for having me here this afternoon. As you said, Ardian is one of the largest, the leading private equity fund in Europe, with a diversified focus across PE, infrastructure, real estate, and private debt. We currently manage over 165 billion across all of our different asset classes, of which 5 billion is allocated to real estate, positioning us as one of a major real estate investor across Europe. We're committed not only to achieving strong financial return, but also to generating a positive impact on the communities and environments that we invest in.
Regarding Iberia and more focused in Spain, what can you tell us about your activity, and do you care to comment maybe on some recent transaction or investment decisions?
In real estate or in general?
Yeah, in real estate.
In real estate. So we've been operating in real estate now for just over 5 years, doing some office transactions, some residential and living deals. The last deal that we did in Spain was just before the summer holidays, closed on the 31st of July. And we bought an existing office building in the heart of the city center, on Calle Zumbaran, almost at the corner of Paseo La Castellana. They'll be looking at the German Embassy Gardens. And our intention here is to transform the existing office building into a development of high-end residential apartments. Clearly very strong location. I think there's a strong supply-demand imbalance in central locations across the city, and we're confident that there will be a high level of demand for the product that we will be bringing to the market in due course.
Very well. And regarding the office segment, are you still a big believer in the product, or are you more keen in converting and changing the type of use with a similar kind of transaction?
It depends on a deal by deal and a basis, and also the location. The office is not dead. The office has a huge future ahead of it. It's true that it's had some tough years, some turbulent years over the past 2 years. But if you look at the numbers, actually the leasing activity in market is still performing very well. But you have to be clear about where you're going and what the market that you're targeting. But no, we're still focused on offices. We will still do office deals. We just closed the deal last week in Berlin, an major office refurbishment deal. And so we are still focused on offices. And again, it depends on, we can buy an office building and keep it as offices, or we can buy an office building and convert it into residential. It depends on the pricing. It depends on the location. It depends on what we think the market requires at that point in time.
Picking up on what you just said, I would like to understand a little bit better what is the investment strategy rationale behind Ardian. If you had to rank location, asset quality, lease terms, and ESG, what would come first and last in terms of the factors you would evaluate to close a transaction? They were location, asset quality overall, the lease terms you can manage, and ESG.
The most important thing in real estate has always and will always be location.
Okay.
Everything else that you mentioned there you can change. The lease terms, the ESG, the asset quality, you can change all of those. You cannot change the location. So clearly the location is the overriding factor. And I would say the second one that you didn't mention, but that overrides all the other ones, is pricing.
Price.
Because with pricing, you can do what you want with that. Allows you to do what you want with everything else. If you're buying at attractive prices, you can turn the asset around, you can reinvent its ESG strategy, you can do what you want. But pricing is location, and then pricing is everything.
So if you find yourself across good pricing opportunities, is there any new sector or investment opportunity that you might be looking to enter in, or?
We are very excited to have recently launched a mega PBSA strategy across continental Europe, together with our friends at Rockfield, and with strong initial commitment backing from CBRE Investment Management, their indirect business. We're going to build up a category killer in this across the continent. We'll have a strong focus on Spain. We launched the venture a couple of weeks ago. We went public. We've already done our first deal now in Florence. We're doing another one in Italy by the end of next week, and hope to get our first deals in the portfolio under management in Spain by early next year. I think there's some huge tailwinds in the PBSA market across Europe. Different markets operate functioning in different ways. Some are more consolidated, some are greener. And therefore, we think the blend of them across the geographies will be interesting. But we think there's a lot going on in the sector, and we're excited about what's to come over the next few quarters and years.
We were also excited to see it and to publish it. If I don't recall wrongly, it was about 500 million of a commitment. What are your objectives there? Do you have ever any target returns, amount of properties you intend to manage?
No, we don't. There's a set target to how many projects we want to manage. It will depend on locations and sizes and scales of each asset or each company. But we want to to build up the best quality portfolio of student residences across the continent, and in each city. Also, each city that we want to make sure that location, that asset makes sense, and that it's going to perform well. Rather than we want to make sure that by the end of next year we have 20. No, it's not that kind of approach. It's on a deal by deal. Asset by asset or portfolio by portfolio approach. Each asset has to make sense on its own.
It's a rather ambitious goal to be a global and local leader at both times. How would you say that the attractiveness of cities in Spain compare with other markets? Like you mentioned, Florence as one of your acquisitions. So Italian market, French market, the Spanish one. How is Spain positioned for you in Ardian?
Spain's a very important market for us with this strategy. There's a lot of university students, increasing number each year, coming to Spain. You don't need to know the reasons why. We have it's a popular place to study, just like the popular place to live and work. And we first, of course, we will target the top cities. Our focus is targeting the tier 1 cities first, and we'll take it from there. Of course, top of them. Capital cities are where we want to be most active across our different countries.
We are approaching the end of the year. What is your view, your crystal ball moment for 2025? Are you optimistic regarding the sector overall?
We're very optimistic regarding the sector. Very strong pipeline, plenty of opportunities. And I think 25 is going to be a very active year for us.
And are you more focused on the buying side right now, or are you also looking for some asset rotation on your strategy?
On our PBSA strategy?
Yeah.
No, we're purely focused on acquisitions because it's a brand new strategy, just launched. So it's we're starting from scratch. We're starting with a blank piece of paper. And yeah, we're in full acquisition mode, I would say. And we will be in full acquisition mode. Then once you've started acquiring, we'll be in operative mode, asset management mode, turning things around, increasing their profitability. And then it'll be, acquisition and management mode. We'll go hand in hand together.
And overall, not just PBSA, so now focusing on offices, a little bit on residential. Your long-term funds investment decisions, what are you focused on? What is affecting your investment decisions? Do you have broader plans on shifting the weight of your portfolio across Europe? Is Spain going to maintain the same percentage? How would you say it's going to evolve?
Yeah, listen, our target sectors continue to be, as discussed, offices, living, PBSA. We've done a couple of self-storage deals in France. We'd like to do other ones across the rest of continental Europe as well. With those, if you like, are our main focus sectors. And Spain continues to be an important market for us. We have boots on the ground in 4 markets. Paris, Milan, Frankfurt, and Madrid. And I think, as you can see from the investment activity going on here in the past months, the plan is definitely to continue to build up our Spanish exposure across our different target sectors.
Given your large dimension, how is your profile of acquisition? Are you going full equity, a little bit of debt, because you have a lot of projects? How are you managing?
It depends very much on the sector, on the source of capital that we use for each deal. But generally, we finance all of our deals.
Mm-hmm.
And again, the level of finance depends on the pocket from which, whether it's from the core plus fund, the value add fund. But yeah, we're financing everything we do.
Recent news on interest rate cuts is just a short-term psychological stimulus, or do you think it will have high impact?
No, I don't think it is, actually. I think things are calming down there now. Mm-hmm. I hope, anyway. And I think we'll start to see some stability there.
Very well. For someone who doesn't know Ardian and has now been listening to us, what would be the key message to describe you as an investment that you would like to leave to our listeners?
What would be a key
message? So how would you describe Ardian, your main goal?
Well, that's a very good question. I think we'd like to think forward and think what should cities look like? Not necessarily next year or the year after, but in the next 5-10 years. Cities evolve and the uses change, and I think we have to think about where will people want to live, where will people want to work, where will people want to shop, where will they want to play in the future. We need to build cities and assets that meet people's demands for what they're expecting from their building. Things change so quickly with our requirements from buildings, our requirements from assets. I think we at Ardian always try to think not only outside the box, but think ahead.
And on a more personal level, is there any kind of transaction or any goal that you have not achieved and would like still to close in Ardian? Something that might have slipped out of your hands that you're still managing?
Well, it was the whole time.
Yeah.
You can never regret the deal that you didn't do. You've got to focus on and you can't do all of the deals, and you've got to focus on. It's very important to be focused on what you're looking for and not constantly chasing everything. Of course, we see exciting deals and that you don't necessarily do for whatever reason at that moment in time. But yeah, it's important to be in the market and be realistic with your targets. And we're very happy with the transactions that we've done so far. We look forward to doing many more exciting ones, as I said again, across our different strategies.
Amazing. One last lottery ticket question. Mm-hmm. What would you say will be the major trends shaping the capital markets activity in 2025? Many people talk about taxonomy, financing, AI. For you, what would be the big headline to transform the sector?
A big headline to transform the sector. I think that, I don't know about transforming the sector, but I think that Trump is going to play a big part of whether this, what happens in the next 12 months in our business. So it's a big question mark around what, it's a big event in global geopolitics, global politics. So let's see, how the market kicks off, early next year, where we like to, it's a global market and we are very affected by major political changes, like a new president, especially someone, of that caliber. So let's see how 2025 picks up, following the with the new president. But we're confident. We're confident of of a good year ahead. We have a lot of reasons to be excited, a lot of reasons to be confident, and I think we're going to see certainly investment volumes picking up. I think we already are seeing them picking up, and let's watch this space.
Closing in a positive keynote speech. Very good. Edmund, it was a pleasure hosting you. This was Iberian Property Insights, powered by Grupo Iberian.
Thank you very much.